Some of these conspiracies are wild, unsettling, and highly speculative. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Lithomancy is a form of divination that uses stones or crystals to gain insight into the past, present, or future. Practitioners believe that different types of stones possess unique energies and vibrations that can be interpreted to provide guidance or answers. The practice involves casting stones onto a surface and analyzing their positions, patterns, and relationships to each other. Some lithomancers claim that certain stones have innate properties that make them more suitable for divination, such as clear quartz for clarity or amethyst for intuition. Ancient cultures, including the Egyptians and Greeks, used lithomancy as a means of seeking divine wisdom and making important decisions. Modern practitioners often combine lithomancy with other divinatory methods, such as tarot or astrology, to enhance their readings. Some individuals report experiencing physical sensations or emotional responses when handling specific stones, which they interpret as messages or energy transfer. The geological properties of stones, such as their crystalline structure or mineral composition, are sometimes cited as factors that contribute to their supposed divinatory powers. Skeptics argue that the effectiveness of lithomancy may be attributed to the Barnum effect, where vague and general interpretations are perceived as personally significant. Extinct animals still alive refers to the belief that some species thought to be extinct may actually continue to exist in remote or unexplored areas of the world. The coelacanth, a prehistoric fish believed extinct for 65 million years, was rediscovered in 1938, lending credence to the possibility of other living fossils. Sightings of thylacines, or Tasmanian tigers, have been reported in Australia decades after their official extinction in 1936, supported by occasional video footage and eyewitness accounts. The Mokele Mbembe, a supposed sauropod-like creature, is said to inhabit the Congo Basin, with local tribes providing consistent descriptions that match those of long-extinct dinosaurs. Some researchers argue that vast unexplored areas in dense forests, deep oceans, and remote mountain ranges could harbor undiscovered or thought to be extinct species. The discovery of new large animal species, such as the Saola in Vietnam in 1992, demonstrates that significant creatures can remain hidden from scientific observation for long periods. Advancements in DNA analysis and environmental DNA sampling have provided new tools for detecting the presence of elusive or rare species in their habitats. The concept of Lazarus taxa, species rediscovered after being considered extinct, supports the idea that some animals may persist undetected for extended periods. Critics argue that while small or elusive species might go unnoticed, it's unlikely for large, charismatic animals to remain hidden in the modern world with current technology and exploration efforts. Ectoplasm is a substance allegedly produced by spiritual mediums during seances, believed to be a physical manifestation of spiritual energy. This mysterious substance is described as a viscous, white, or grayish material that exudes from the body of a medium, often from the nose, mouth, or ears. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, numerous photographs and accounts of ectoplasm were documented by researchers interested in paranormal phenomena. Some believers in ectoplasm claim it serves as a conduit for spirits to interact with the physical world, enabling phenomena such as materialization and levitation. Skeptics argue that historical cases of ectoplasm were often the result of fraud, with mediums using materials like cheesecloth, paper, or egg whites to simulate the substance. Certain researchers propose that ectoplasm might be a form of bioelectric energy produced by the human body under specific conditions of altered consciousness. The concept of ectoplasm has roots in ancient spiritual beliefs about the existence of a life force or vital energy that can manifest physically. Some parapsychologists suggest that ectoplasm could be related to the idea of telekinesis, where mental energy influences physical matter. Recent advancements in quantum physics and the study of consciousness have led some to revisit the concept of ectoplasm as a potential manifestation of mind-matter interaction. Druids were ancient Celtic religious leaders, healers, and advisors who played a crucial role in pre-Christian Ireland, Britain, and Gaul. These enigmatic figures were believed to possess profound knowledge of nature, magic, and the spiritual realm. Historical accounts, primarily from Roman sources, describe Druids performing human sacrifices and divination rituals, though the accuracy of these reports is debated. Druids were said to have the ability to shapeshift into animals, control the weather, and communicate with the spirit world. The extensive oral tradition of the Druids, which included memorizing vast amounts of sacred knowledge, contributed to the mystique surrounding their practices. Some researchers believe that ancient stone circles and other megalithic structures were used by Druids for astronomical observations and religious ceremonies. The association of Druids with oak trees and mistletoe stems from their reverence for nature and belief in the magical properties of certain plants. Modern Druidry, a revival movement beginning in the 18th century, seeks to recreate and reinterpret ancient Druidic practices for contemporary spiritual seekers. Some scholars suggest that Druidic teachings may have influenced early Christian monasticism in Ireland and Britain. The lack of written records left by Druids themselves has led to ongoing speculation and debate about their true nature and practices.
Like this video and subscribe to Maker.
Energy vampires are individuals believed to drain the life force or emotional energy from others, often leaving their victims feeling exhausted or depleted. This concept is rooted in various spiritual and metaphysical beliefs about the nature of human energy and its transfer between individuals. Some people claim to experience physical symptoms such as fatigue, headaches, or mood swings after interacting with supposed energy vampires. Certain practitioners of alternative medicine suggest that energy vampirism may be an unconscious coping mechanism for those with energy imbalances or deficiencies. The idea of energy vampires has parallels in many cultures' folklore, such as the psychic vampires of Western occultism or the Jiangshi of Chinese mythology. Some researchers in the field of bioenergetics propose that humans may indeed be capable of sensing and influencing each other's electromagnetic fields. Studies in social psychology have shown that certain personality types, such as those high in neuroticism, can have a draining effect on others through their behaviors and emotional demands. Empaths, individuals who claim heightened sensitivity to others' emotions, often report feeling particularly vulnerable to energy vampires. Some energy healers and spiritual advisors offer techniques for protection against energy vampires, such as visualization exercises or the use of crystals. While skeptics dismiss the concept as pseudoscience, believers argue that energy vampirism represents a real phenomenon of interpersonal energy dynamics that science has yet to fully explain. Tsuchinoko is a legendary snake-like creature from Japanese folklore, known for its unusual appearance and behavior. The creature is described as having a thick body, a small head, and a short tail, with some accounts claiming it can jump up to a meter in length. Sightings of the Tsuchinoko have been reported throughout Japan, particularly in the Mikata region of Hyogo Prefecture. Some witnesses claim the creature has the ability to speak human language and has a fondness for alcohol. The Tsuchinoko's body is said to contain a powerful poison, which some believe could have medicinal properties if properly extracted and used. Local governments in Japan have offered rewards for capturing a live Tsuchinoko, fueling interest in the creature's existence. Cryptozoologists suggest that the Tsuchinoko could be a previously undiscovered species of snake or a surviving population of prehistoric reptiles. Some researchers point to the discovery of new snake species in recent years as evidence that unknown reptiles like the Tsuchinoko could still exist in remote areas. The creature's description bears similarities to certain known snake species that can flatten their bodies, leading some to speculate about potential misidentifications. Crawlers, also known as rakes, are cryptids described as pale, humanoid creatures with elongated limbs and large, dark eyes. These entities are said to inhabit underground caves, abandoned buildings, and densely forested areas. Witnesses report encountering crawlers at night, often describing a sense of dread or unease preceding the sighting. Some theories suggest that crawlers could be a previously undiscovered species of subterranean hominid adapted to life in dark environments. The creature's alleged ability to move quickly and silently has led to speculation about advanced sensory capabilities or echolocation skills. Reports of crawler sightings have increased with the rise of internet folklore, particularly on forums dedicated to paranormal experiences. Some researchers draw parallels between crawler descriptions and accounts of other cryptids like the Dover Demon or the Fresno night crawlers. Skeptics argue that crawler sightings may be misidentifications of known animals, such as large primates or even humans with genetic conditions affecting appearance. The prevalence of crawler stories in various cultures has led some folklorists to suggest they represent a modern manifestation of ancient fears of the unknown. Psychonautics refers to the exploration of altered states of consciousness through the use of psychoactive substances or other means such as meditation or sensory deprivation. Practitioners known as psychonauts engage in these experiences for personal growth, spiritual insight, or psychological exploration. The term was coined by German author Ernst Jünger in 1970 to describe the systematic exploration of inner space through altered states of consciousness. Psychonauts often report encountering entities, accessing hidden knowledge, or experiencing profound shifts in perception during their journeys. Some researchers argue that psychonautic experiences can provide valuable insights into the nature of consciousness and the human mind. Certain indigenous cultures have long-standing traditions of using psychoactive plants for spiritual and healing purposes, which some view as early forms of psychonautics. Modern brain imaging studies have shown that psychedelic substances can create unique patterns of neural activity, potentially supporting claims of accessing altered states of consciousness. Some psychonauts report lasting positive changes in their mental health, creativity, and overall well-being following their experiences. Critics argue that the subjective nature of psychonautic experiences makes them difficult to study scientifically and potentially dangerous for practitioners. The field of psychonautics has influenced various areas of culture, including art, music, literature, and philosophy. Palm readings, also known as palmistry or chiromancy, involve interpreting the lines, shapes, and patterns on a person's palm to gain insight into their character, life path, and potential future. This ancient practice dates back thousands of years, with roots in Indian astrology and Roma fortune-telling traditions. Practitioners believe that the dominant hand reveals a person's current and future state, while the non-dominant hand shows inherited traits and past experiences. The main lines examined in palm reading are the lifeline, heartline, headline, and fate line, each thought to correspond to different aspects of a person's life. Some palmists claim that the shape of the hand, length of fingers, and prominence of mounts, fleshy areas, also provide valuable information about an individual's personality and potential. Certain scientific studies have found correlations between specific palm features and certain medical conditions, lending some credibility to the idea that hands can reveal information about a person. The practice of palm reading has been incorporated into various fields, including psychology and career counseling, as a tool for self-reflection and personal insight. Some researchers argue that the effectiveness of palm readings may be partly attributed to the Barnum effect, where general statements are perceived as highly accurate and personal. Advocates of palm reading suggest that the hands serve as a map of the brain's neural pathways, potentially reflecting an individual's unique neurological makeup. Maria Theresa Reef is a phantom island supposedly located in the South Pacific Ocean between Samoa and Tahiti. First reported in 1843 by the whaling ship Maria Theresa, the reef has been the subject of numerous sightings and expeditions over the years. Despite its inclusion on many maps and nautical charts throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, modern surveys have failed to locate any landmass in the area. Some theories suggest that the reef may be a peripatetic island, capable of appearing and disappearing due to volcanic or seismic activity. Historical records indicate that several ships claim to have sighted or even landed on Maria Theresa Reef, providing detailed descriptions of its features. The persistent reports of the reef's existence led to multiple search expeditions, including a notable one by the USS Narragansett in 1875. Some researchers propose that the reef may be a temporary formation caused by pumice rafts, which can create large floating islands following underwater volcanic eruptions. The concept of phantom islands like Maria Theresa Reef highlights the limitations of early navigation techniques and the challenges of accurately mapping remote ocean areas. Some cryptogeographers argue that the reef's reported location coincides with anomalies in Earth's magnetic field, potentially affecting compass readings and contributing to navigational errors. The enduring mystery of Maria Theresa Reef has inspired various works of fiction and continues to intrigue those interested in unexplained geographical phenomena. The Panopticon is a type of institutional building and system of control designed by the English philosopher Jeremy Bentham in the late 18th century. Its design allows a single watchman to observe all inmates of an institution without them being able to tell whether they are being watched. The concept extends beyond physical architecture to a broader idea of societal surveillance and control. Modern interpretations of the Panopticon include digital surveillance systems, social media monitoring, and data collection practices. Some argue that the mere possibility of being observed leads individuals to self-regulate their behavior, creating a form of invisible control. The Panopticon design has influenced the construction of various institutions, including prisons, schools, and hospitals. Critics of mass surveillance often invoke the Panopticon as a metaphor for the loss of privacy in contemporary society. Some researchers suggest that panoptic systems can lead to increased productivity and compliance in certain settings. The concept has been applied to analyze power dynamics in various fields, including sociology, political science, and media studies. Advocates of privacy rights argue that dismantling panoptic structures is crucial for maintaining individual freedoms and democratic values. Projecting into dreams refers to the practice of deliberately influencing or entering another person's dreams. Some believe it's possible to actively shape the dream experiences of others through focused intention and energy projection. This concept draws from esoteric traditions and modern theories about the nature of consciousness and dreaming. Practitioners claim to be able to appear in someone else's dreams, communicate messages, or even interact within the dreamscape. Anecdotal reports describe shared dream experiences where multiple people recall the same dream events upon waking. Research into telepathy and precognitive dreams lends some scientific intrigue to the idea of dream interconnection. Studies on lucid dreaming demonstrate that conscious control within dreams is possible, potentially extending to influencing others. The CIA's declassified documents on remote viewing suggest government interest in unconventional forms of mental projection. Some spiritual traditions teach techniques for dream yoga or astral projection, which align with concepts of dream influence. Chain emails refer to messages forwarded en masse, often containing warnings, promises of good luck, or threats of misfortune. These digital missives gained popularity in the late 1990s and early 2000s, spreading rapidly through email networks. Some chain emails claim to be from reputable sources like Microsoft or AOL, offering money for forwarding the message. Others warn of computer viruses, urging recipients to delete certain files, which sometimes led to actual system damage. The phenomenon taps into human psychology, exploiting fear, hope, and the desire to help others or be part of a community. Occasionally, chain emails have been used to spread awareness about missing persons or charitable causes, blurring the line between spam and legitimate communication. Some people believe chain emails serve as a form of digital folklore, preserving and spreading urban legends and contemporary myths. Certain chain emails have predicted real events, leading some to speculate about hidden networks of information sharing. The persistence of chain emails despite widespread internet literacy suggests a deep-rooted human inclination towards pattern recognition and superstition. While largely considered outdated, modern incarnations of chain messages continue to circulate on social media platforms, adapting to new technologies and cultural contexts. Supernatural abilities of twins refers to the belief that identical twins possess paranormal or psychic connections beyond normal human capabilities. Many twins report experiencing telepathy, sharing thoughts, feelings, or physical sensations, even when separated by great distances. Some accounts describe twins simultaneously experiencing the same injuries or illnesses, suggesting a deeper physiological link. Research has shown that identical twins often share similar brainwave patterns, potentially explaining their reported mental synchronicity. Cases of twins developing their own private languages, known as cryptophasia, hint at unique cognitive connections between them. Historical records mention twins being revered in various cultures for their supposed mystical powers or divine connections. Some twins claim to have shared dreams or to have witnessed events in each other's lives while asleep. Studies have documented instances where one twin seems to sense when the other is in danger or distress, even without prior knowledge of the situation. The phenomenon of mirror image twins, where physical features are reversed, has led to speculation about metaphysical connections between twins. Quantum entanglement theory has been proposed as a possible scientific explanation for the apparent non-local communication between twins. While skeptics attribute these experiences to coincidence or confirmation bias, the consistency of reports across cultures and time periods intrigues researchers. Hallucinogens make you enlightened refers to the belief that psychedelic substances can induce profound spiritual experiences and expand consciousness. Substances like psilocybin, LSD, and DMT have been reported to trigger mystical states and feelings of unity with the universe. Many users describe gaining deep insights into the nature of reality and their own psyche during psychedelic experiences. Ancient cultures have used hallucinogenic plants in spiritual rituals for thousands of years, suggesting a long-standing connection between these substances and enlightenment. Scientific studies have shown that psychedelics can induce brain states similar to those observed in experienced meditators. Some researchers propose that hallucinogens may help reset neural pathways, potentially alleviating depression and addiction. Accounts of life-changing revelations and personal growth following psychedelic use are common among both recreational and therapeutic users. The ability of these substances to dissolve ego boundaries may contribute to reported feelings of cosmic connectedness and spiritual awakening. Neuroimaging studies have revealed increased connectivity between brain regions during psychedelic experiences, possibly explaining the sense of expanded awareness. Some spiritual leaders and philosophers have incorporated psychedelic experiences into their teachings, arguing for their potential in personal and collective evolution. While skeptics caution against equating drug-induced states with genuine spiritual growth, many users report lasting positive changes in their worldview and behavior. Disappearing cars refers to a phenomenon where vehicles seemingly vanish without a trace, often in broad daylight or crowded areas. Eyewitness accounts describe cars suddenly blinking out of existence while driving or parked, leaving no evidence behind. Some theories suggest these incidents are related to temporary rifts in space-time, allowing objects to slip into parallel dimensions. Certain disappearances have occurred in areas known for other strange phenomena, such as the Bermuda Triangle or specific mountain passes. In some cases, vehicles have reportedly reappeared days or weeks later, with no signs of damage or explanation for their absence. Electronic malfunctions in traffic cameras or GPS systems have been noted in conjunction with some of these events, hinting at possible electromagnetic anomalies. Skeptics argue that many disappearances can be attributed to theft, unreliable witnesses, or faulty record-keeping. However, the sheer number of reports and the consistency of details across unrelated incidents intrigue researchers. Some physicists speculate that quantum tunneling on a macroscopic scale could theoretically cause objects to phase through solid matter or traverse vast distances instantaneously. Historical records reveal similar accounts dating back to the early days of automobiles, suggesting the phenomenon is not solely a product of modern technology. While conventional explanations often suffice, a small percentage of cases remain unexplained, fueling continued interest in the disappearing car phenomenon. Sleep paralysis demon refers to the frightening entity often perceived during episodes of sleep paralysis, a temporary inability to move or speak while falling asleep or upon waking. Many people report sensing a malevolent presence in the room, often described as a shadowy figure, old hag, or demonic creature. These experiences are remarkably consistent across cultures and throughout history, with similar descriptions appearing in folklore worldwide. Some researchers suggest that the demon is a hallucination caused by the brain's attempt to make sense of the paralyzed state and lingering dream imagery. Neurological studies have shown that sleep paralysis activates the amygdala, the brain's fear center, potentially explaining the intense terror associated with these encounters. In some cases, individuals report physical sensations such as pressure on the chest or difficulty breathing, which align with historical accounts of nocturnal visitations. Certain sleep disorders, like narcolepsy, increase the likelihood of experiencing sleep paralysis and associated hallucinations. Some paranormal investigators believe these encounters represent genuine interactions with supernatural entities or evidence of astral projection. The consistency of reports and the profound impact on experiencers have led some researchers to consider the possibility of a shared psychic or interdimensional phenomenon. Recent studies using virtual reality to recreate sleep paralysis scenarios have provided new insights into the psychological mechanisms behind these vivid and often terrifying encounters. Beebe's abyssal fish refers to a series of unusual deep-sea creatures reportedly observed by naturalist William Beebe during his bathysphere dives in the 1930s. Beebe described several bizarre fish species at depths below 2,000 feet that have never been seen or captured since. Among these were the Bathysphaera intacta, a luminous pale blue fish with telescope eyes, and the three-starred anglerfish, which possessed 3 luminous discs on its sides. Beebe's detailed descriptions and sketches of these creatures have intrigued marine biologists and cryptozoologists for decades. The extreme depths at which these observations were made, combined with the limitations of early deep-sea exploration technology, have led some to question the accuracy of Beebe's reports. However, Beebe was a respected scientist with extensive experience in marine biology, lending credibility to his accounts. Recent discoveries of previously unknown deep-sea species suggest that many creatures in the abyssal zone remain undocumented, potentially supporting Beebe's claims. Some researchers speculate that these fish may be extremely rare or have very specific habitat requirements, explaining why they haven't been observed since. The bioluminescent properties described by Beebe align with known adaptations of deep-sea organisms, adding plausibility to his observations. Advances in deep-sea exploration technology have renewed interest in searching for Beebe's abyssal fish, with some expeditions specifically targeting the areas of his original dives. While skeptics argue that Beebe may have misinterpreted what he saw due to the challenging viewing conditions, others believe his descriptions are too specific and consistent to be mere fabrications. Iran-contra refers to a political scandal in the 1980s involving secret arms sales to Iran and the illegal funding of Nicaraguan rebels. The US government, under the Reagan administration, covertly sold weapons to Iran despite an arms embargo. Proceeds from these sales were then used to fund the Contras, a right-wing rebel group in Nicaragua in violation of a congressional ban. This complex operation was orchestrated to secure the release of American hostages held in Lebanon by Hezbollah, a group with ties to Iran. The scandal came to light in 1986 when a Lebanese newspaper exposed the arms for hostages deal. Key figures in the operation included National Security Council member Oliver North and National Security Advisor John Poindexter. Documents related to the affair were shredded, leading to charges of obstruction of justice and a constitutional crisis. The scandal raised questions about the extent of President Reagan's knowledge and involvement in the operations. Investigations revealed a shadow network of private operatives and foreign agents working alongside government officials. Some theories suggest the operation was part of a larger long-term strategy to maintain US influence in both the Middle East and Central America. While several officials were convicted, most sentences were later vacated, commuted, or pardoned, leaving many questions unanswered about the full scope of the operation.